All right, coming up next, start giving him some energy. This guy is very funny. Give it up for Gary Dervashian.
I don't know if there's enough buffer. I don't think Dana was enough buffer between Jack and I don't know, man. Hey everyone, my mother-in-law is here tonight, and it's her first time seeing me, so it's got to be a clean show. That's my time. Nah, I just want to get a couple things straightened out because I don't want to be answering these questions after the show. No, I'm not wearing any makeup. I'm not Alice Cooper's bastard son. I don't sleep, and trust me, if I was gonna wear makeup, I'd make myself look pretty, not like the end product of Ozzy Osbourne fucking a raccoon. No, I don't sleep. It's been a very rough year. My dad had 2 strokes. He has dementia, and he's 90, but he could still do a better job at a debate than those 2 bozos that we saw a couple weeks ago, I can tell you that much. And my best friend died. And it really upsets me because one of the last things we ever talked about, we got into this big old fight about how he never invites me anywhere. He did it again. Don't you just hate those friends who always have to have the last word? I want to talk about the thing that happened in the news today. Richard Simmons died. And, you laughed too hard at that one. He helped so many people lead healthy lives. My dad fucking hated Richard Simmons because in 1985, he's at a red light on Sunset and Bronson. Richard Simmons rolls up with another man next to him. They roll down the window, point at my dad, and laugh. So I told my dad what happened. He goes, "Oh, who's Richard Simmons?" And I told him the story. He goes, "Yeah, fuck that guy. Hey, did you see Trump got shot?" Yeah. I used to love getting haircuts when I was a kid. I know it's really hard to believe that. I think you and I had our last haircut at the same time, sir. But I love getting haircuts, and not because I like to look trim and tidy and clean. The very first time I went to the barber shop, my dad went first, and there's that little coffee table with all the magazines. And I saw a magazine that caught my eye. I didn't know what it was, but I knew I wanted to see more of it. It was called Playboy. It intrigued me. But I had a feeling it was something bad, so I grabbed the Sports Illustrated, and then I put the Playboy behind it. So I'm just like, whoa, titties, yeah. And my dad goes, "What you looking at there, son?" And I go, "Michael Jordan poster." I insisted on going back to the barber shop 2 weeks later, and I go back and I see another Playboy, and I'm like, yeah, doing the same thing. "What you looking at there, son?" "Charles Barkley poster." My dad stopped taking me to the barber shop because he was really concerned that I was having that kind of reaction looking at big, bald black men. To this day, he wonders about his unmarried, childless son. Happy Pride Month, everyone. It's not just June. Every month is Pride Month, motherfuckers. My girlfriend's gonna have a lot of questions about this after the show. Hey, did y'all notice that the Jehovah's Witnesses stopped coming around when the pandemic started and they kind of haven't been back yet? Hell yeah. Well, I figured that shit out when I was a teenager. I didn't need a fucking virus to figure this shit out. So I just got really sick and tired because every Sunday they'd disturb me during my redneck activities like football and NASCAR, and I was just really tired of them interrupting me. And I was really nice at first. You know, oh, sorry, I'm not interested. Well, what about your neighbors? I live in Sherman Oaks. All my neighbors are Jews. If no one else has been able to convert them, it's not gonna be you. But they didn't get the message, so they kept coming back. So one Sunday I had enough, so I hear the knock on the door. I take off all my clothes, and I answer the door. I go, "Good morning." They're like, "Ah," and they run away. What the fuck are they gonna do? Are they gonna go to the cops and say they're looking at a naked minor? Fuck no, they're not. But I don't know what it is with the cults, because word travels fast, because a week later, there's a knock on the door, and I open the door, and it's a Catholic priest, and I go, "Well, what's up, Father? What can I do for you?" He tightens up his collar, and he goes, "Father, now you can call me Daddy." Mom! And before I go, I want to talk about an immigrant success story. Y'all ever heard of Zanku chicken? Yes. Zanku chicken is the shit. I'm just so sorry I found out about it so late. But, I mean, that garlic spread is to die for. Like, that shit cleared up my herpes. Like, I wish I knew about Zanku chicken during the pandemic, because then I could have really partied with the rednecks and been okay. But I became such a fan of Zanku chicken that I really dug deep into the history of Zanku. I wanted to know everything about Zanku chicken. So I looked up the history and, oh my God, Mr. Zanku killed his mom and his sister, and then he turned a gun on himself. Yeah. I needed to know the whole story, so I decided to take a trip to the motherland, Glendale, California, and get some answers. So I talked to everyone who drove a white BMW, wore obscene amounts of clothing, and was wearing an Adidas tracksuit, and they all said the same thing. Bro, I tell you what happened. So, Mr. Zanku had brain cancer, and he went to his chemo, and that day the chemo session just was not going very well, so we called it a day early. So I was going back home, and Mr. Zanku comes home and sees his mom and his sister eating a bucket of KFC, and he went a little El Pollo Loco there. I'm so glad you guys laughed, because you're all not psychos. Like, yeah, that's a normal thing to do. Have a good night, everyone. Go masturbate.